Hello students, today we start a new topic of module number 3, tendering. So here topic name is earnest money deposit, short form is EMD. So EMD is nothing but a amount that buyers give to sellers to show his inclination in a successful completing a deal. So if the amount involved is rather large, then an escrow account is opened and the money is held in the same account. So in the case of the tender, the amount is made known well in advance, and during the launch of a tender, like example like company XYZ may ask to earnest money deposit from the bidder for a road project. So the sum would depend on the company, and in many cases the deposit could be large if contract is large. So increase a tender has not been awarded, then the company that had collect the amount has to be refunded the same. So generally there is no interest that is applicable on a EMD amount in India. Second topic is SD. SD means security deposit. So the contractor is required to deposit with the owner a sum stated as a percentage of the cost of the work in order to safeguard the interest of the owner in the event of the improper performance of the contract, and the relevant clauses should specify the time limit within which the payment has to be made, and made of payment should be specified. However, the big project, the security is taken in the form of the bank guarantee, and the bank guarantee cost the contractor a small percentage, seldom exceeding 2% per annum of the amount guaranteed, with a small margin money, and accepting the security in terms of the bank guarantee is thus the advantages of employer. Now next topic we start is tender form. So in order to that, the tenders or a bid received by the owner may have some common base for a comparison. The owner provide prescribed form to each of the uh, competing contractor. So these are known as a tender form and are very useful in analyzing the tender received by the owner. So tender form must contain the some of the essentials, like first one is a price. So the tender form should provide the price to be written by the contractor. In case the lump sum contract, only one figure is written by the contractor. Second is in case of the unit price contract, so the approximate quantities of various possible items are mentioned in the tender form, and each of the competing contractor quotes his rate for each item, and the contractor should be instructed to write the rate of item in a words and a figures. So if on a security sorry scrutiny a discrepancy is found, the two the price written in a word treated as the final amount. And similarly, if there is an discrepancy between a unit price and a corresponding total amount for that item, the unit price for that item is considered as a final, and the amount is then suitable altered. Now subtopic is earnest deposit. So the amount of earnest money to be accompanied along with the tender should be clearly stamped on a tender form. And security deposit, so in tender form the amount of security deposit required after the acceptance of the tender should be mentioned. And another thing is written in a tender form is a time limit. So the tender form should contain the period in which work is to be completed, and it should be specified the period in a calendar day or a month, and it should also state that the period shall be counted from the day of receipt of notice to start the work from the owner. Another thing is written in a tender form is a tender validity period. So the validity period of a tender after its opening should be mentioned, and depending upon the magnitude of the work, the tender validity period may be 30 days to 150 days after the date of its opening. And another miscellaneous thing is written. So like tender form should be stated that the contractor has been the site and understood the previous of the plan specification and condition of the contract. It should also mention that the contractor cannot make any change in the tender supplied to him, and the provision of the contractor's signature and also of a witness if required should be made. So these are the tender form thing is given. Now here one of the example of the tender notice is given at here. So here Government of India, Department of Atomic Energy, Nuclear Fuel Complex, Civil Engineering Division, Hyderabad. So it's take only for a simple example. So notice inviting tender means NIT, notice inviting tender by the e-tender. Here tender notice number is given. So here one thing is already written. So it's one type of the item rate e-tender in a two envelope system is given. So in a envelope one techno commercial bid, and envelope number 2 is a financial bid. So two envelope system is in a NIT. And here in this tender name of the work, estimated cost and other detail is given. So here the work of the estimated cost is approximately 560 lakhs is including of GST is given. And the earnest money deposit, so we already discussed in a last slide is that. So here earnest money deposit is also written at here like 11.20 lakhs, and the times of completion of the work is given 18 uh, 18 calendar month. Means here you already seen that here 18 calendar month uh, is time is given to complete the work. And a cost of the tender document, see this second page line is a cost of the tender document is a tender fees not a with not take a 0 rupees. And transaction fee for a tender processing is 5900 rupees uh, is paid in here at in the form of the online mode only. And EMD, earnest money deposit is already given 11.20 lakh in this form, sorry in this notice. Then after second point is given eligibility criteria for participation of the tender. So here some of the eligibility criteria is given. Then after uh, another important thing is given is a turnover, solvency, and some of the plant and machinery list is given here. So by all these equipment given in this list is used to complete the work. Next is technical staff and establishment is given. So like cost of the work, qualification, number of the person required, and experienced person is required. So these are the some of the requirement is given. Then after inspection of the work done by the bidders. So here inspection after given the work, inspection is completely done by the bidders. So here some of the instruction is given by the bidder. And tender document, here tender document is uploaded on a website or on a notice board, etc., is already given in a tender notice. And public tender document, drawing and other document, bid excel sheet, and abandonment, all these things are fully described in this tender notice. And what do you fill up the envelope 1 means eligibility criteria, and in envelope number 2 financial bid, both are fully described in this tender notice. And how to submit the tender, so the submission of the hard copy is compulsory required to submit the tender. And here cover 1, cover 2, what we put in a cover number 1, what we put in a cover number 2, all these things are mentioned in a this submission hard copy documentation. And here some of the general condition is given, some of the company's rules and regulation, and at the last signature of the main person is senior person or a senior superintendent engineer signature at the last of the documents. So these are the some one of the tender notice. It's an example, it's take only for the example. Now in our next lecture we discuss on another point. So here we stop our lecture. Thank you.